Okay, good afternoon or good morning, wherever you are. Hope everyone's had a good, relaxing weekend. Market is about to open. Okay, so I have picked up Bookmap over the weekend. I've been playing around with it. I thought I'd try it for a month, see if it helps me. It's certainly a little bit clearer. There are one or two bits missing that I was hoping I would get as part of this package, where the aggressive buyers and sellers are, but it doesn't come with this, so we're just going to have to sort of. I'm going to give it a month anyway, and we'll see how we get on with it. So we've had our kind of couple of moves up overnight, but we've been going sideways now for a while. So you could argue there was a second entry long there, maybe a higher low. I don't know. It's just a little bit choppy for me, so I stayed out of this. I could see big sellers up here, so you don't know whether this thing's just going to decide to drop down. Now, I'm looking on my book map. I can see there's a big chunk of orders down here. So if this thing is going to continue up and it has a bit of a pullback, that certainly could be an area where price decides to bounce from. So there are sellers up here. You know, there are sellers at 25 up here, but this thing kind of looks like it's going to slowly continue up. But we got a leg up sideways and a leg up, so we're just going to have to sort of go steady and see what happens. Karina, good morning. Little Hammer, how you doing, buddy? So you can see these orders at 825, which are here. So I'm not too sure at the moment. You know, there are more orders above price at the moment. So whether that means they're going to kind of continue up, I suppose. I certainly wouldn't be taking a breakout pullback. Now that's interesting. Channel break. We've had a bounce on here, but look at the size of it, and we've got no room to the top. But orders at, orders at 25. You don't know whether they're going to be sellers earlier. So, and this thing's going to come back into the range. So at the moment, I'm just sitting tight. I wouldn't want to go short here at the moment because there are sellers just above price, as we know, at 25. So we don't know whether it's going to trigger yet, hit those sellers, and then come back in. So at the moment, I'm just sitting tight. Now, I am still relatively new to Bookmap, so I have played with it on and off for maybe 6 or 8 months. I haven't touched it for a couple of months, but then I've had it on and off. So, I've still got a few bits to learn about it. Possible second entry long. I'm staying out. As you can see, there are sellers here. Now, usually, as we know, price can drift towards those sellers, which may mean you get trapped. And there are sellers pushing this down. So there are sellers here around about 22. Now, whether they get absorbed and this thing goes up or whether it comes down. But at the moment, I'm just sitting tight because I have a bad feeling here. Possible failure as well. Possible triple test. We'll see. So there are orders here. H, how you doing, bud? So, yeah, this may come back in. There are orders up here, and there were sellers here as well. So there is a second entry long, but I wouldn't be taking that just yet. I mean, what I do like is we got a leg up sideways, and I think there's a good chance we could get another leg up. But at the moment, it's stacking sideways. We've got orders above, sellers up here. So this thing, I think, I really got to sit tight and be a bit careful. Ben, how you doing, pal? I did answer your question there, bud. So, Bookmap, I looked into it. When you purchase Bookmap through Bookmap itself, it gives you options to purchase data through them. There's 3 options, I think, but Bookmap data through Bookmap was the cheapest. It's $34 a month, but it was $17 half price for the first month. So I thought I would give it 1 month and use it every day and see how I feel about it. There is one thing that's missing that I was hoping I would get. which was the aggressive buyers and sellers, a little kind of box which sits kind of next to here. And I like the fact that you can see that balance in buyers and sellers. The trouble is, if you want that, you've got to pay for the next level up, which is $99. So that's $99 plus $34 a month. It's a fair chunk of change, but if it saves you one loss, it's more than paid for itself. So I'm just going to play around with it and see how we get. Yeah, pretty straightforward, mate. There's loads of videos out there. As I say, I have played around with it before. You can download it free, the digital version, just for Bookmap. It doesn't cost anything, as I say, and you can have a play around with it. But, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You know, you can adjust things. So you can have, you know, you can have more or less all the orders, or you can really rule out the weaker ones and just concentrate on the stronger ones, and you can make the, you know, the little balls with the orders slightly larger if you want. And there's probably a bunch of other things I haven't even touched yet, to be honest with you. But I am going to have a play around with it and watch a few videos. So 2 legs up. So there are sellers at 30. So I'm going to put that there. So now we know Bookmap acts as like a magnet, but your trouble is you don't know whether these sellers are going to be absorbed by aggressive buyers continuing to push up, but it's hard to say. But there was kind of 2 little legs down there and a bullish bar. It's a bit risky there right at the top. So I'm not too sure, but I think there's a good chance it does reach this 830 level, which is there. Let's just tuck this one out of the way. But we've got 2 legs up, so there's nothing you can really do here, to be honest with you. So it's just a matter of, I think the easiest way to get a feel for it is just to watch where liquidity is and see how, you know, the price reacts towards them. We can see there's liquidity up there, and price looks like it's pushing up towards it. So if we've got a second entry long gear, you may think, oh, I'm staying out of this. It may come back into this little range. But then if you're seeing strong sellers up here, then chances are it gives you you know, a little bit of knowledge showing that we've got orders up there. So there is a good chance it could push up to there. So that gives you an extra little bit of confidence in making a decision. So as I say, for probably a year and a half, I've looked at it for a couple of weeks and then left it, and then had another week of it a few months later. So I've looked at it on and off, and I don't think I've ever kind of used it in the way I've done in the last week, and it's just given me a lot more confidence where price is going. That's half the battle with trading. It's having that confidence that you're thinking in the right terms. So, you know, if I'm thinking about going long here, and I can see a mass of sell orders above me, then it might be advisable to stay out. But it's same again, if I'm thinking of going long there and I can see sell orders at 30, then there's a good chance I've got some, you know, I'm aiming in the right direction. Now, you may have said, well, why don't you take a trade there? Because we've had a breakout of this, and as we know, a lot of breakouts fail, so you don't know whether we're going to get a failure. I thought for a minute there's going to be a failure. If you look on this chart, there's a possible failure there, so you just don't know, which is why I kind of stayed out of that. But it did kind of work up to where it's pushing up to. You can see those stronger orders, which it's looking like it's about to hit. There you go. So it's, you know, that does help. So now what do I do? Well, there are orders at 35, so let's put them up there. So, but they're not super strong at the moment. So we may get a pullback. It's hard to say, really. I have had a play around with to see if there's something slightly larger here, but it's not very easy. That might be a better option, but it's just not super clear. Maybe, but that may be okay. I'm just trying to have a look round just to see. I'll answer in a sec, Stu. Sorry, mate. I've just seen your comment. Let's have a look. Your book map looks different than before. Yes. Reason being, I was looking at the free version on YouTube. I've actually purchased the software. Well, it's a monthly purchase, so I've paid $49 for it and half price data for $17. I'm just going to try the actual software itself, just to see if it helps me any better. It's certainly clearer, and I can obviously make various adjustments as I kind of see fit. That's why it looks a bit different, but it's a case of, can you get away with just looking at the free version? I think you probably can. But I just wanted to try it for a month and see if it helps me, because as I say, I can make adjustments. I can either bring in all the orders, or I could sort of kill most of them and just leave the slightly larger ones to sort of round off my picture a bit. But this thing looks, there's orders up here, there's orders up here, there's orders up here. It looks like it's being slowly pulled higher. So without this, see, I don't know whether this thing's going to have two legs and collapse. You just don't know. So that's why it looks a bit different, bud. So the option I've purchased is the global, which is $49 a month. There is a global plus, which gives you a few more bits and pieces. And then you have to pay for live data. So the cheapest out there is the bookmap version, which is $34, but it's half price for the first month, just to kind of give you. So I thought I'd jump in for a month and have a play around and see if it makes a difference. But it's saved me money already, for sure. And what I'm doing is if I look on, if I look at other people that have taken trades, it's happened a few times that I've said I wouldn't take that trade because of this, and it's trapped them and come down and stopped them out. So it's definitely helping me. But obviously, you have a good week, you never know. You've got to give these things a little bit longer. But I will say, having this is showing me that there are people up here with money that price is likely to push towards. So if I do take a second entry long here, it's giving me that confidence. Sometimes if you don't know whether you've got a proper channel and you don't know whether we've had a break and you leave a second entry long. But if I can see we've got lots of orders up here, then it'll give me that little self-belief that, okay, maybe I am thinking in the right terms and so on. So you see, we had that second entry long, and I could see lots of orders up here. So maybe that would have been a good idea to go. The only reason I left it is because we've had this, we've heard Max say a million times, most breakouts will fail. So as we've had a breakout, I just wanted to give it a bit of space. But, but you can see there are orders right the way up to about 47, which is right up here. So I don't see there's any reason why price won't continue on. Right up there. So if we have a couple of legs here, then perhaps, I'll be looking to take a trade there. So, so there are orders at 25 down here. So that gives us a possible target where there are buyers. If you're going to buy down here, wouldn't be a bad option. Not huge, not super strong. If all of a sudden we get buyers jumping in now, it may not even get down there. So I think that's certainly given us a target. With so many orders up here, if price does... See, I don't think it'll even come down that far because they're not strong enough. Because there's so much liquidity up here, price looks like it's just going to get drawn up. Well, there you go, see. It's just happened right in front of our eyes. You can see these orders aren't strong enough to sort of trap price. If they start to increase, then price may come down. But straight away, look, we've had a break and we're already at the highs. I think they'll just pop straight above there without any break there. Well, there you go. So breaking highs. We didn't even get back to the EMA. So, and I think a reasonable explanation is the orders just weren't strong enough to pull price down. So, if we get some nice orders here and we get a nice sell. So if I was in a trade now and I'm thinking orders here, orders here, orders here, orders here, and it was right back at the EMA, that would give me the confidence to think this is looking quite strong. I'm going to hold on here and see if I can't get a few more points. has helped me immerse. So thanks. You're welcome, mate. Yeah, so a few sellers there at the tops, but I think anything that gives you more confidence in what you're doing, it helps, doesn't it? I mean, you guys have got me. You can hear my opinion and see what I'm doing, and I can kind of do the same on the two discords I'm on. So it's nice to have that little someone else to kind of mix ideas with. So I'm going to stay out of this because we have got some sell orders at 35 right here. So maybe we've had a break, 2 pushes. This may then have a pullback. So we had strong orders down at 800. They're still down there. I can't see price getting down there now, but when we were going sideways here, so I'm going to ditch that now, I think. Yank these up here. So there are buyers down here, quite strong buyers. So I wouldn't be surprised if price broke below that bar. Depends at where those buyers are exactly. They're around about 31 and a quarter, which is there, which is not quite there. If 31 and a quarter was there, you'd expect that to get stopped out. Trouble is, you've got to open that up to get that. Okay, yeah. So yeah, 31 and a quarter. So right there. I wouldn't be taking a trade here. It's going a bit sideways, but I like the idea if it comes back. We've still got those orders 25, which you can see there, and orders at here as well. So if it does come back to these areas and pick up buyers, we may be able to jump on their coattails, kind of. Yeah, I'm still new to Bookmap, really. I've only really tasted it a few times, but I am going to look into it a bit more. Anything you can learn about these bits of software can only help. So let's see if we get a pull back to here. Then trouble is, would I want to take a trade here? Not really, because it's kind of going sideways. And, I've still got to follow my patch routine. So it's picking up these orders now. Perhaps those orders were slightly... Oh, it's actually broke through. You can see it's ticked through them there, isn't it? And you can see those orders. But there are quite a large amount of sellers here. Can you see? A large amount of sellers at 33 and a quarter. So I wouldn't be going long there. 33 and a quarter is there. So it may trap along here and then come back down. Let's see if it works. So you can see those orders, 1,065. I don't know whether that's contracts or orders. I'm guessing it's probably contracts. So if it hits them, that may sell off. It has done. So let's see if that now pushes down. But we are getting quite large buyers here, so maybe that will push it up. But my gut feeling is this is going to get... There you go. So if you had 2 legs down there and you wanted to take a trade, it trapped you, and you could see that happening. So now I'm looking at either here or here. As we've got strong orders at 25, I'd have to wait for here. I wouldn't take it here. That would be a good place to take it, and I think price may just have a quick shove down. We'll see. From all the videos I've seen, the slider at the top with the color range, everyone has slider around the yellow area. You on about here? There. I don't exactly know what it does. Oh, okay, so it just makes them a bit brighter, isn't it? So you reckon about there, yeah? That looks like I'm missing something. Yeah, just looks like it's gone dull to me, but I'm going to keep it there anyway. But yeah, it doesn't make much difference. It just makes those colours a little bit brighter. So I wouldn't be taking a long there because there's strong orders down here. So my gut feeling is that second entry long is going to get stopped out. Okay. I can see one trader already looking like they've taken a second entry long there. See these big sell orders here? Now, if all of a sudden aggressive buyers jump in, it may not go down, but that for me has got danger written all over it. So that, no doubt, will attract some traders. Now, it still may hold, but it didn't. So there we go. So it's another potential one that we've saved. So I heard a couple of people talking about second entry long there. Looks like a decent second entry long. Someone said, I'm going to wait for a higher low. To me, it looked like a channel anyway, so I wouldn't stay out of it. So big orders at 25. So let's see what happens if we get strong. If we get a bounce here and a higher low, then I'd have a go at that. We have got orders at 20, which is further down, which is kind of at the top of support here. So that my decision would be here. If we get a strong bar and a higher low, I may have a go. If we don't, I'll wait till it comes down a bit lower. But as we've been going up so strong, I'd still expect price to push up because you're going to have a stack of liquidity there. So I bet there's, yeah, there was. Yeah, there'll have been some traders getting trapped there. There was a failure there anyway, so if you want to take a trade, that will be the one. Unfortunately, because it's doing this, I couldn't take it. Now, it didn't hit those orders there. I still think it may do. Now, with a big move like this up, I'd quite likely expect two legs back anyway, which may take us down to here. So I'm going to put that there just for the fun of it and just see if we do get a second leg down here. So I wouldn't take a long here, not because it still may push up, but with these big, strong sell orders still down here, my guess is this could come down some more to here. And if it does, it may have a quick shove. Now, if aggressive buyers come in, it still may not get down here, but I still think it's likely going to hit this. There's not much up here. There's nothing too strong here. That's quite strong, so I would be quite confident that I'd expect that to get hit. And if it does, it may come down to this 20 level, which would give us two nice legs down. Now, you have got to be careful, even if that happens, that we don't have a channel here. But, okay, so that's going to hit those buyers there. Why is things looking like it's froze? Okay, so see how there's more sellers here. This thing's likely going to come down a bit more. So what I'm going to do is put that there. So we've got a channel with a break. So buyers down here, not super strong. But I wouldn't take a trade even though we've made a new low. I'd like to see channel break, two pushes to a new low. They're not super strong, but I think you certainly, they're growing. I think you certainly got to still pay attention to them just at the moment. So if we get a bull bar here, I'd stay out of this. Now, quite strong buyers there at 24, which is there. So, yeah, I think that's dangerous. It may hold. We may get a higher low, but I'm just sitting tight at the moment. That for me is, they're getting stronger there at the 20. 23, which I think is below there. Now, if buyers like this and they start buying strong, it won't get back here. You can see we're getting some buyers here. But then we've got sellers here at just under 30, which is there. So maybe we have 2 pushes up. I still think this is coming down. Now, it may push up and tick above there. The trouble is these constantly changing. That's the only kind of downside. But this doesn't look like much of a break, really, to push up after such a big move. But that doesn't really matter what I think. So I still think 23 is quite a strong possibility. So let's see if it hits these sellers and then see what it does. As I say, you know, this only gives you some of the picture. If aggressive buyers buy now, price will move up. Okay, so it hit that level right on the nut, 30, and what happened? The sellers sold. So let's see if this now comes down to here. So we know we got orders at 23, which is there, which would stop that bar out. They're strong, they are. We're getting relatively big sellers, so I think after that push down, I think there's a good chance this comes down to here. Less aggressive buyers are pushing it. Why is this going off the thing? I need to figure out how to keep it so far away. So we got, looks like, yeah, my guess is this is going to get hit. Less aggressive buyers push up. Trouble is, we got more orders at 30 there, so I still think this may come down for a second leg. Right, those 30 orders have disappeared. So that's, you've got to keep an eye on that as well. See them just disappeared. So price may now go up. And look at it go. So if, yeah. So if sellers just thought, I don't like what's going on here, this looks like it's going up, they yank their orders. So you've got to kind of flick your eyes from left to right. We've got nothing now till up around here. So I think this is quite likely going to push up. Still got orders at 23. You never quite know. We could have 2 pushes and then come down, but so we had sellers at 30, and that's right. That's why it disappeared. Of course, they sold off, didn't they? I'm still not convinced this is not going to come back a little. So buy orders now at 30. You can see buyers there. Now, from a Pat's point of view, there is nothing I'd have done here anyway. Even if I liked this, there was no entry. There's an inside bar, so there's no entry anyway. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting sellers ranging from kind of 36 to 47. So kind of this area up here. So we've got a channel break new low, no higher low, unfortunately, there on either of my charts. So I couldn't have taken a trade if I wanted to. But with these orders here, I think there's a good chance now price is going to continue on up. Okay, so it pushed straight down, picked up that area here. So this is interesting now. This is could be a possible failure here. But there's a lot of orders disappeared here. So it's between 23 and kind of 35-ish. Tempting to buy there. In fact, I'm gonna
Order submitted.
orders up here. There's a failure there. We've just had a big chunk of sellers there.
Order filled.
Straight in and stopped me out. So it's not perfect. It's not perfect. There was a failure there. I still got to keep an eye on this. Let me just check everything's done. Yeah. Second entry long there. Yeah, it's hard to say, really. It's hard to say whether I'm focusing too much on that and not enough on this. So we've got orders at 23 down here. So there's a possible failure there. There's going to be stops there, stops there. So second entry long. To be honest with it, it's a little bit in the middle anyway. There are buyers there. There's a failure. It's very tempting, that is.
Order submitted.
Tough one there.
Order submitted.
There's a failure there. It's going to get me again, isn't it? Oh, my good God. Big sellers at 23. Come on down. Oh, dear. I'm tempted to get out here. Come on, sell. It's going to be orders there for sure. I don't believe it. I'm going to have to be careful with this. I think I'm trusting it a bit too much. I think I'm getting in the noise. There's a failure there. Triple test failure. Come on down. It's just not wanting to come down. There's going to be stops there for sure. Leg and a leg. Come on. I don't like what's going on here. Might just put it there behind those stops. Could be my quickest day out here. Let's just leave it. It's a bit congested now. See, that's the problem. 2 losses. Trouble is, I'm right in the middle here. I think the best thing to do is to get out of here.
Order filled.
It's bad, that is. That's bad, 2 losses. Let me just disconnect. I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day. I can't open an order now. I don't know whether I'm focusing too much on that or what. I thought that was kind of okay. Stop. But the trouble is, I'm in the middle of it, and that's the problem. So I'm not down a huge amount anyway. I'm down an average of, well, $280 odd, which is not terrible. It's not too bad. I think I'm getting in the mess a bit. I'm looking. So what I should be doing is saying there's orders up here and orders down here. I should be staying out of this. Change the sliders. What about here? Yeah, I'm done now anyway. It was a failure there. I like the way it closed below. There'd have been buyers there. I wouldn't have taken a long there because it's in the middle. So I thought leg down with a break and leg down. But I think really I got in the middle here. So you've got to be careful, I think, when you try something new to completely focus that it's going to give you, you know, kind of the right information. No, don't worry about it, mate. It's all right. It's going to happen. Your gap doesn't allow you more than one loot. I've just taken 2 losses. I've taken 2 losses. I can't remember where I even took them now. I'll have to go through them a minute. But yeah, so I'm not down a huge amount. It's not kind of the end of the world, but I've just got to deal with it. But I've got to be a bit careful with this because it's you don't know sometimes whether it makes things better or worse. It does seem like it makes things better, but I think if I look at this, we've got orders up here and orders down here and not a lot going on in the middle. Now, the trouble is when there's no orders in the middle, you're relying on aggressive buyers and sellers, which you can't kind of see coming. So it's just one of those things. Your mental state was not on top when you took. Was not on top. Well, I think what it is we got a leg down, and I can see orders down here. So my gut feeling was this: when we had this strong push down here, it came below the EMA. We had a second entry long. Now, for me, we got resistance there. It looked like it coming down. So when that long got trapped and that closed below the EMA, there was a failure there. And I thought if we get below there, it'll push below here and come down to this area. That's what I was doing. But the trouble is, because I'm trading in all this mess here. Sorry, in all this. Let me have a look. Because I'm trading in kind of all this, it's not very strong and it's kind of not going in a kind of an obvious direction. So I'm in a bit of noise there. So it triggered me and trapped me. So it's just one of those things. But there was a failure. I thought we were going to get a second leg down. We pushed up, couldn't get up, and had a big sell down there. Then a lower high. Then we had that long. That came up and didn't trigger that long high. Didn't stop at that lower high. So that's why I took it. I thought we'd come down. We're trapping longs there. It wasn't far off, but it happened. So 2 losses. It's frustrating to get 2 losses, but they're not huge. I mean, even sort of after, let's have a look, after fees, they're still under $300. So it's not terrible. It's just one of those things. But what I'm going to have to do is just stay out when it's like this and just, you know what I mean? But it's one of those things, isn't it? So I'm going to leave you guys to it. Yeah, even in the loss, you've kind of just got to put up with it. As frustrating as it is, you've just got to put up with it. But I can't take a trade now. It won't let me take another trade. I don't think. No, it won't. because I've got it set to 2 losses, and it just stops me from getting myself into trouble. Now I'm down $295 after fees. So 2 wins, and I'm back to where I was. So we got 2 legs up, and I thought we are going to get 2 legs down, but that's one of those things, isn't it? So I'm going to leave you guys to it anyway. I can't trade now, and that's the best thing. It takes it out of my hands. So I'm going to leave you folks to it. I'll be back tomorrow. So have a great day. Stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.